Hi book babes, my name is Ainsley and welcome to my library. For today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys all about the books I recently hauled specifically for fall. So I am not necessarily a fall girly. I identify with the summers, definitely not spring. Just kidding. Seeing as I am a summer girl and seeing as I live at the beach, the fall season for everybody else is still kind of summer, so I definitely do enjoy a good fall. I'm also from Blacksburg, Virginia, and if you guys have been in Virginia in the mountains specifically, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The weather during fall is perfection. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. You can wear flannels in September without being overheated, and you can still be stylish, and the leaves change colors. Anyways, so that is probably the one negative about moving to the beach, is that you don't necessarily get a fall anymore, which is really sad. But I am excited for this upcoming season, and in order for me to like fully jump in and get excited for it, I bought some books. These books I bought specifically to read during this fall season. They are just books that have been recommended to me as giving off of this incredible fall vibe. So I'm very excited to read these and see if they are accurate in their recommendations. I don't know if you guys have ever like gone to Walmart or gone to Target and just like accidentally ended up in the book aisle, and then all of a sudden you've accidentally bought like 2 books that you didn't mean to. That's what happened with these next 2. I bought What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walthers, and I am there's no S, it's just Walther, my bad. I read The Summer Broken Rules by her and rated it 5 stars. I just fell in love with her writing style and her characters, and she just had a perfect ratio of a fun plot versus like with realistic characters. So I just love how her writing is very balanced and it's very relatable. In this book we follow Lily, and she is about to graduate from a boarding school. However, because she had this goody two-shoes reputation, she's starting to wonder if she possibly missed out on the high school experience. And so whenever she receives this anonymous letter inviting her to be part of this senior prank, she doesn't really hesitate to go and join in, because she's thinking this is her final chance, her final opportunity to finally just have some fun before adulting starts. That's pretty much all the synopsis tells us, but I'm just very excited to just fall back into like the pranking realm that KL is just phenomenal at writing. She's very, very good at mixing raw topics with this playful energy in her books, and so I'm definitely really excited to experience that in this book in a high school boarding school. I think boarding schools are probably my favorite trope. I don't even know if that would qualify as a trope, but setting. I think my favorite YA setting is always a good boarding school. I love a good boarding school. Obviously, with her about to graduate from high school, that it probably takes place like in May or April, in the spring. But just with this looks very like November to me. I don't know why, but it looks very October, November to me. Also, just the idea of pranking people, being out all night, like that just screams fall. I do not know why, but it does. So I'm definitely going to be picking this book up in fall. And because I'm incapable of just buying one book, I had to buy 2. I ended up picking up Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and I am just so excited. I have seen this book everywhere, like literally everywhere. Even booktubers that I'm subscribed to that don't normally read fantasy read and love this book. Like, this book is just like such a hot topic right now, and I have been craving it, literally craving it. I was gonna wait and put it on my Christmas list, and then I was like, no. I've said this before on my channel, but I don't really like to read the synopsis of fantasy books just because I feel like so much can be given away, or I go in with this expectation and sometimes I don't get it. I'm not naturally a fantasy reader, so I definitely have to just go in completely blind, or else I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to find a way to become disappointed. So I kind of just try to stray away from any like preconceived notions. We follow 2 journalists, and somehow they have this magical connection, and there's a war going on. I don't know. I'm just really excited to dive into this book. I think it is going to be so much fun. On Labor Day, I had no school and I had no work, and so I went, you know what? Let's go to the bookstore. So I went to the bookstore and I picked up So many good books, and I'm very, very excited. The first book I'm going to mention is the last book that I picked up, but that is going to be First Down by Grace Riley. I started this book last night, and I am 55 pages in. It is just going so well so far. This book is definitely reminding me of The Deal by Al Kennedy, where you have Garrett Graham, the infamous hockey player, and Hannah, who is his tutor. This book is kind of paralleling that. There are some differences, and the characters are obviously completely different, but if you found comfort in any of Al Kennedy's Briar You Were Off Campus series, I definitely think that you're going to be able to find some comfort in these books too. So this is a trilogy. I only bought the first book, so you have First Down, Breakaway, and Home Run. I want to say those are the three. I definitely plan on reading all of them, and because this follows football, the next one follows hockey, and the third one follows baseball, I definitely want to read these books during their season. So right now it's football season, which is why I'm reading this book, and then I'll read the second one during hockey season and the third one during baseball season, but I think that'll just be really, really fun. This series follows three brothers. This book we are following James, he's the oldest and the football player, and then we have Cooper and Sebastian following, so I'm just excited to just read them fall in love. Next up, I have If We Were Villains. I have heard so many things about this book, and it's actually been like on my Goodreads want to read list for so many years. I'm talking years, guys. And every single time I would go to Books A Million or Barnes & Noble, I would always look for this book and I would never be able to find it. And somehow I managed to go to the bookstore right as they were stocking these books. I was like, can I have that, please? I don't really know what this book is about. I heard a booktuber give the synopsis a couple years ago, and I was just like in awe of how good it sounded. It just sounded so just like, do you ever like hear synopsises and you're just like, I want to be in that world right now? That is how I was with this book. And I was always devastated. I would go to the Books A Million and I would have like, these are my top 2 books that I really, really want to get. This would always be on my list. And I'd yet to find it for years. Guys, I'm not kidding. It's been years that I've been wanting this book. And so to finally have it, it's just unreal. Giving Atlas 6 for some reason. Oh, I don't know why, because there's 7. I have no idea, because the synopsis is like half a flashback, half reality. So I am trying to like make sense of it, but it's not happening. What? Next up, I have Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. One of my favorite booktubers, who I'm blanking on her name right now. I'm going to link her channel in the description below, because I just love her fall recommendations. I love her for introducing me to so many new books, so many new authors. I love her. And she always starts her videos with like a cup of coffee, and she's like, hello. She's so warm. Like, the energy I get from her, it's just pure warmth, and I love it. So anyways, she recommended Rules for Vanishing. I want to say this was in her, like, this was a last year recommendation. Seriously guys, go check out her channel. You guys are going to get so many fall book recommendations. But so I ended up picking Rules for Vanishing. She said that this was like a horror, and from what I'm reading, I definitely can see why it was a horror. Which is funny, because in my booktube introduction video, I literally said I do not read horror, and so I don't think horror is gonna be a genre that I just gravitate towards. That's rare. But she completely sold me on this book, which means she knows what she's talking about, and she's just so passionate while doing so, because she got me to want to read a horror, and then she got me to spend money on a horror. So crazy. We follow Sarah, whose sister, Becca, went missing. And so where she's from, once a year, this magical road appears. And if you choose to go down it, you're going to be met with all these challenges and spooky things. It kind of reminds me of Caraval, but more spooky. So she believes her sister went missing, and she just knows for a fact that her sister went on this path and somehow veered off the road. She just knows that her sister is stuck on that road, and that the only way she's going to save her sister and bring her back is if she goes down that road as well. However, the road has this ghost, and the ghost's name is Lucy, and so Lucy is trying to keep Becca for herself. She does not want Sarah to find Becca. Sarah gets a group of her friends together, and they are just determined to go find Becca, and obviously I don't know what happens. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm going to assume they get Becca, but I'm probably gonna think for a couple times we're not gonna get Becca. Sarah knows that if her and her friends embark on this magical, spooky trail, they might be stuck there forever with Becca. And it's just a gamble that they're willing to take, because if it comes out in their favor, Sarah gets her sister back. So I am excited to read this book. I'm a little nervous because I don't like being scared while reading, but she literally said, do not read this book at night. It gives you nightmares. What am I going to do? Pay attention, guys. In October, the 13th falls on a Friday. I am going to be reading this book on Friday the 13th. I'm so excited. So pay attention for that video. It is going to be spooky. The last book that I bought is just the remainder of the Natural series. I bought Bad Blood, All In, and Killer Instinct, which actually the order that I just wrote it in is backwards. So Killer Instinct is the second, All In is the third, and Bad Blood is the final and fourth. So I'm very excited. I bought the Naturals back in May, and I have yet to read it because I wanted to save it for fall. And now that I have these three goodies, they just look so cute on my shelf, and I'm so happy that I bought the entire series. Like I said before, I love the all black with the pop of color. Like, does that just not look so cute? I love them. And in the series, we follow Cassie, and she is a teenager who has been invited to join an FBI program for teenagers with special abilities. And I'm not talking superpowers, I'm talking the ability to solve cold cases. So Cassie and I want to say 3 or 4 other teenagers with similar abilities as her, the FBI gives them an apartment and says, hey, here's a stack of cases, solve these cold cases. So Casey and her roommates embark on this journey to solve FBI cold cases, which I think is really, really interesting. I don't know specifically what each book entails or includes. They market this book as the Criminal Minds in teenagers, so I'm very excited to just see what that's about and just dive into FBI and just all of that stuff. As a criminal justice major, these types of books are like a guilty pleasure for me. I obviously hate murder, but I do enjoy reading a good murder mystery. Well, that is it for today's video. I'm sorry that it is shorter than my other ones, but I just wanted to hop on here and show you guys all the fun books that I've gotten recently. I'm equally excited to read all of them. I'm really hoping I get to read all of them this season. There are a couple where I know I'm not going to get to in fall, but I definitely have my sights set on them for winter. But I'm very excited to meet these characters, just read all the fall vibes, and just cozy up under a nice blanket, get some coffee. It is going to be such a fun experience. So if you guys want to watch me read these books, please subscribe. I would love for you guys to join me on this reading journey. It is a magical, fun, chaotic time, but we are thriving over here. So feel free to join me and comment down below any fall books that you were hoping to read this season. I am obviously always looking to grow my TBR. So please comment below if you've read any of these, if you recommend me like putting a high priority on any of these. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.